Looking at the rest of the AFC West, I mean, usually when we do these previews, there's much to talk about, but there's really nothing to talk about since Denver doesn't have a quarterback. And I mean, Justin Herbert's phenomenal, but I think that seems really maybe a season 2 away from threatening the Chiefs, if that. But what's your forecast for the rest of the AFC West? Because I'm sure you have the Chiefs winning that division.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think everyone has the Chiefs winning pretty easy money if you want to bet on that one. I will say, the Chargers lost by 3 in Justin Herbert's first game. Remember, it was going to be Tyrod Taylor. He gets injured, and Herbert starts like right then and there immediately. And it's in week 2, and the Chargers only lose by 3. And if I remember right, no, that game was at LA. And then the Chargers won in the last game of the season, but that was when Andy Reid was resting all of his starters. But I mean, the Chargers looked downright dangerous last year, head to head. And I mean, I don't believe that they're going to win, but I think they could be sneakily better. If they protect Herbert, that's the deal, right? That O-line has been atrocious.
They invested in it
for years, and they did invest in it. So, if Rashawn Slater, some others can be, what they need him to be up front. They got a new coach. I mean, there's just a lot of unknown variables there. They get Derwin James back in the secondary. I mean, that guy's a force.
Right.
Anytime you've got someone named Bosa up front, it'll be interesting. It'll be real interesting, I think.
Look, I have 3 more questions, but I want to just get this one out the way. Yep. And I haven't asked anybody else this question because I don't think their team's necessarily going to make it to the Super Bowl. But what's your Super Bowl prediction, since I think I'm a pencil in KC as the team coming from the AFC?
I think Kansas. I think the road runs through Kansas City. I think Aaron Rodgers in this final Green Bay season is just going to be a motivated man to watch. And I think he and Mahomes are the only two play. Football's a team game. Mm-hmm. Like in the NBA and maybe even Major League Baseball, it's more individual. One guy can carry the load, whatever. In football, I think that's impossible to do, except when you have a quarterback who is so far beyond even other quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. I think Mahomes is that guy, and I think Aaron Rodgers is that guy. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a man possessed this year, and the Packers were already good. So it's kind of hard for me to not pick those two teams to go all the way. The Bucks, I'm just not in. I think they're good. I think they're very, very good. But I'm going to go Packers Chiefs.
That's a good one. I would love to see the original edition and the remix battle each other, basically. Looking at how the Chiefs waited the season, really, we know he played the last game of the season, his first year, Patrick Mahomes. How should the Bears go about bringing Justin Fields along, since Matt Nagy was with the Chiefs that season? And also, what are your thoughts on the Bears this upcoming season?
Yeah, boy, it's a great question. Do you feel like the momentum is getting ahead of Fields a little bit? I mean, like the expectations, even Trevor Lawrence has to be looking at Justin Fields going, gosh, how do you get all this press? Because I'm like 1-1 over here, first pick, first round. And no one's fawning over Trevor Lawrence the way that everyone seems to be fawning over Justin Fields, let alone to be Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, other guys who were even picked in front of him. So,
yeah.
A little bit there is
Bears. Bears have a little cachet in these streets, just so
exactly. Exactly, right. I love the fit. I loved watching Fields in college. I think a lot of teams made it way too complicated and overthought. Hey, there's the guy. Go get him. And make it happen. So I'd love to see it. But man, I'd throw him right in. Honestly, I'd throw him right in because how much do you want to watch Andy Dalton? How much does anyone want to watch Andy Dalton? I think you can get away with that kind of like long torch passing when you have proven and stable leadership, and you can't say that about anyone in the Bears right now, right? I mean,
right. Yes, yes, facts. That's facts. No, you're not disrespecting anybody. That's facts right now.
So if a Belichick can do it, an Andy Reid can do it, other than that, the Green Bay got away with it when they switched from Favre to Rodgers.
Right, and they're getting away with it right now.
Although they're also taking major PR hits and doing so because they're not even getting it right. So rather than looking at the Chiefs as some model of how to do it, I think it's the anomaly. I think the Chiefs are, wow, that worked for them, and kudos to them for, Alex Smith was a model citizen, knowing he was losing his job. Patrick Mahomes was a model citizen, even though he was waiting on a job. Andy Reid, players coach. I mean, all the planets aligned to make that happen. So, I just don't know that it's a mimicable model.
Look, I host the Bears podcast for NBC Sports Chicago also. And I was on there, and our Bears insider, Adam Hogue, we both realized that we had the same thought. He said he had talked about it in the past, but this one hit me a couple of days ago, right? Knowing what we know about Patrick Mahomes, right? In all fairness, shouldn't the Chiefs have just started him at the end of that rookie season? Because you probably will have another Super Bowl by now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they were honoring Alex for a full season. I really do. And you've watched Alex be a pretty stand-up person in Washington. I mean, kind of wherever he's gone, he's been a civic leader, a team leader, whatever. And so he and Andy were pretty close. I think it was an honoring Alex season. And I just, even if that cost him a win, I think it did.
Oh yeah, you can't. Now you can't give Super Bowls away for Alex Smith. And I mean, he was balling that year, but you can't give him. I mean, because think about it now. You've been to 2 and you have 1, but you could have been to 3 and had 2. It sounds a lot better.
Yeah, it really does. Who knows if they make the same decision in hindsight? But Alex got them all the way there. I think they were just riding the train that got them there and honoring a guy at the same time.